As it states on the title, disastrous display by the club of Man United, unacceptable performance from these players. I'm gonna talk about Eric Ten Hag, but these players sometimes just need to really leave. When you hear people coming out and say that this club needs to obviously be cleared out, the dead one needs to be cleared out, they are really right on what they're really talking about, because you can't come out and lose to Fulham. You can't come out and lose to Fulham in that manner, You die trying. We've seen teams like Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal. Every time they lose, the real positivity is that they obviously maintain, but it's just not their day. Now, how come you tell me that it was a day of Man United and we never won? We really lost this game of football and we deserve to win it, because every time you don't really outperform your opponents, you are destined to lose, and that loss has been really gone ahead to mark the 10th defeat of the season at Man United. And here I come to obviously come in and say some things are not meant for certain players, and some teams are not meant for certain players here. Most of those players are not supposed to be playing here. They're not supposed to be playing here, and by the time the full time whistle was blown by the referee, it ended 2-1 in favor of Fulham. And I wonder what kind of players these are. You go at halftime, the game is 0-0. You all know that. You are chasing for the top 4, and the team you are competing with that is already 5 points ahead of you is leading by 3-1 by halftime. You get? Leading by 3-1 at halftime. And I never saw any intended input by the club of Man United to come in through and really change the worst display we've gone ahead to put up at Old Trafford in the first half. After all that happened, they never really lifted up their souls to the expectation. That is really the most painful bit of it, because if they were really players with character, they would have gone ahead to say, let's get back. Even if the manager has all misfired or done what, let's find means of obviously winning. But nothing really came up to the standards, and these players were really looking rusty. And you ask yourself, what was wrong with these players? They never played a game in the midweek. You get? They never played a game in the midweek. And them having not gone ahead to play a game in the midweek has gone ahead to lead to all what has gone ahead to happen right now. And we've gone ahead to lose a chance to really close down on Tottenham Hotspur. I told you that if we win this game of football, Spurs will be tied with Manchester United at 47 points. And now we lose another game of football. And after spending 5 games unbeaten as far as this year was really concerned, Manchester United has gone ahead to find itself in a position of losing another game that was really very crucial, because what team are we playing next? We are playing Manchester City. 3rd of March, we are playing Manchester City. That is it. So, if you know, it's not gonna go well to the club of Man United, and then we take another slop off. This is a very huge slide back, because these are teams that you're supposed to win. But I told you, if you are to win the 4th position, we are supposed to lose 8. Now, we've gone ahead to lose 3, meaning that we can only lose 5. Have you heard? 5 points are the only ones you're supposed to lose to see ourselves into that level of really going to the top 4 position. And I don't know how it's going to happen, but it's really very, 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 very shoddy for the club of Man United. These players are really sick. And if I am Sir Jim Ratcliffe watching this game seated at my home after announcing my 25% minority stake, I get to know that these players have really a problem, because things that have always gone ahead to be their problems have gone ahead to be solved. And right now, they were supposed to give this to the owner as a gift. Even Eric Ten Hag came out and really talked about it, that they're supposed to give the new owner of Man United a win of Fulham as a gift. Guess what? They've gone ahead to disappoint him, and it never really looked anywhere that it's going to go on the side of Man United. It was really very one-sided. How do you have 8 shots on target? How do you have 8 shots in the first half with Fulham? Fulham had 8 shots, and trust me, in the first half they really had a better chance to win this game of football, and no one is going to be surprised for Fulham to win this game of football unless otherwise he never went ahead to watch this game. But if at all you watch this game, I think you have no reason to doubt that Fulham were the better performers on the day, and they went ahead obviously win off. They had better chances, and they tried not to hit off many of those, but the only two that really crossed the line went ahead to make it happen for the club of Manchester United. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. I know people are talking about we missed Rasmus Højlund, but these are not games to come out and say we missed Rasmus Højlund. Those players are supposed to beat Fulham. Those players are supposed to beat Fulham. Whether Luke Shaw is out, Terrell Malacia is out, I understand all those are reasons as to why the manager is really having problems in picking his team. But when you're playing against Fulham, you're supposed to beat it with any squad that you have. You are supposed to beat it. This was a game where you're supposed to go ahead and really win against them and find yourself in a better position that even if you lose to Man City, you will have gone ahead to just lose 3 points. But we've gone ahead to lose 3 points to the side of Fulham today. In the midweek, we might get knocked out of the FA Cup because I don't see any other player returning from the injury to come out and really boost this side of Man United. And you're going to be playing at the City ground. Imagine taking that display to the City ground. Do you think we survive? We don't. We don't survive. So it really has to come to our understanding that these players and their mindset is really lacking. And the big blow was Casemiro getting off after getting a head injury. That was really a very big blow because all you wanted to see is experience in the team. Rafael Varane had the experience, but it only helped us defend. You get? Casemiro has that driving force that he really gets you in games like these. Even when you need him to score, he will have gone ahead to score and really create a moment of magic. But him getting off and Eriksen coming in through just leaves a lot of void, in between the defense and the midfield. And you saw to it that when Casemiro left, you saw to it that Fulham started to really control that midfield every time they really wanted. And it was really a very huge blow. And that's where you go out and really blame Erik ten Hag a little bit and ask, why would he really not bring in Amrabat in the team? That means that he trusts him, Amrabat was supposed to come on and really play in that Casemiro role with Kobe Mainoo in that midfield, but I saw him getting on Scott McTominay and Eriksen, and all those were really very, I think those were quick decisions made by Erik ten Hag that were not supposed to come in through at that particular time. I know the plan of Fosun Omari went ahead to really backfire, but it would have gone ahead to obviously be rectified. Get Casemiro off, get Amrabat on, get off Fosun Omari, and get on Amad Diallo. That would have gone ahead to work well like that, because we never had threat coming in from the wings of United, not until Amad Diallo came on and you saw his quality, that he was really good, he inverts very well, and they know his quality, and his positioning is really great, and he's not a selfish guy. That's why you saw to it that he could invert inside, and you saw to it that Diego Dallo could obviously overlap and really find space. I've always told you how good an inverted player is. A player who inverts in the midfield is really very good, because every time he inverts, he really increases the compactness of the club of Man United in the middle of the park, and that will really create space for Diego Dallo not to obviously find himself in a position of really losing out. So, to my own understanding, it has come to understand that Erik ten Hag also misfired on these substitutions, because Casemiro was in. He was playing very well. What makes you think that you don't need the CDM and you get on Eriksen or Scott McTominay? You needed an Amrabat to come in through and really shield that back four for Kobe Mainoo to really see himself really thrive to where he deserves to be. And sometimes you ask yourself, why did we sign Sofian Amrabat? Because I bet my money, if you had Sofian Amrabat on, that goal wouldn't have gone ahead to go in the second one, because his fast would have gone ahead to track back. But Eriksen couldn't track back. Scott McTominay, Bruno Fernandes, all were committed in the final third of the pitch. And moreover, we consider that second goal in it was like a throw-in. That is really unacceptable at the club of Man United, and he wouldn't really like to see your club playing like that. And we will come out and really give this team the insults and slits they really deserve, because that second goal doesn't go in. How do Fulham find itself with 2 players in our box and the other players like Scott McTominay, right? Bruno Fernandes, Ericsson are nowhere to be seen because they had to track back. I understand taking off Kobe Mainoo was inevitable because Ten Hag wouldn't go ahead and really take off Ericsson. That would have gone ahead to bring on, but I think he realized later that the getting of Ericsson onto the field of play didn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense, because if Kobe Mainoo was in that area, he would have gone ahead to run and really try to press Iwobi, but we had no player from those front 4-5 players that could track back, yet danger was already sensed and they couldn't really run back to stop this. So it shows you how bad we looked and how tactically we were badly into that game of football. But Erik ten Hag needs to really rectify these things and really say, I'm not going to risk myself. I'm really having injuries, but can't I really find my way? Can't I really find a way of really changing a system? Like, you are having very many central defenders and few fullbacks. Why don't you play a 3-4-3 system? You get? Find a way of playing a 3-4-3 system, and on teams like Fulham, that's where you can come out and really do your experiments. That is it. Teams like Fulham is where you're supposed to experiment from. But if at all you cannot experiment when you're playing Fulham, like you come with a back 3 of Lindelof, Harry Maguire, and Varane, then a midfield 4 of Dalot as the right wing back, then you get in Amrabat as the left wing back, then you play Casemiro and Kobe Mainoo into that. Then you get in maybe a Bruno Fernandes, Garnacho and Marcus Rashford to play as your front 3 because he can figure it out. Time has come for him to really find means of really shifting from the 4-2-3-1 if at all it does not working. Get in a back 3 that can obviously defend very well and really see other players really perform very well, because you won't be having a realistic left back. Then a midfielder will obviously come in and really cover that space. So those are things that really went ahead and really affected me, and I asked myself, are we really gonna compete for the 4th position? Now, with 12 games left, we are 8 points behind Aston Villa. Is Aston Villa gonna drop 8 points? And is Man United gonna really continue winning? Because Aston Villa, let me see the fixtures of Aston Villa. Sorry about that. Aston Villa is playing our Luton Town, and I know they are going to win it. If Man City beats us, we'll be 11 points off Aston Villa. It is really a game that never showed that these players really have intent to go ahead and really qualify. I know injuries are there, but that squad is supposed to really beat Aston Villa hands down. That is it. We are supposed to be beating Aston Villa hands down. And let me show you these match stats and then the table and really understand why we are really doing badly off. And I don't know what the solution is gonna be, because injuries are becoming injuries at the club of Man United, and a lot is what we are going in through here as the club of Man United. So let's get into the match stats. Let's get into the match stats. And 21 shots, Fulham had 17. 19 shots on target by Man United, 5 shots on target by Fulham. We had more shots on target and scored less. Fulham had 5 and scored more. 57% ball possession by Man United, 43% ball possession by Fulham. 525 passes completed by Man United, 394 passes completed by Fulham. 86% passing accuracy and 81% passing accuracy. 6 fouls by Man United, 11 fouls by Fulham. 2 yellow cards to Man United and 5 yellow cards to Fulham. 0 red cards to both sides. 2 offsides to Man United and 1 offside to Fulham. 10 corners to Man United and 9 corners to the side of Fulham. This is how the table really looks for the Premier League. Liverpool 60 points, Man City 56, Arsenal 55, Aston Villa 52, Tottenham Hotspur having 47, and Man United is tied at 44 points. And if Spurs win, it's going to really put back that stretch of 6 points in between us and them. So it's really very threatening that the club of Man United is really performing like this. And I think Aaron Wan-Bissaka not returning is really one of those that is really going to affect the club of Man United. I don't know when he's really returning, because I believe if Aaron Wan-Bissaka was part of this game, I think would have gone ahead to look more solid, even if he was being played as a left back, would have gone ahead to serve a better purpose than Lindelof. Lindelof is slow, and he's not that kind of person that will obviously create moments. He gives you the retention of the ball, he passes very well, but he won't really get you exactly what you deserve to get as a team. So Manchester United is really having big problems there for you. Injuries are like injuries right now as we speak. Luke Shaw, Tyrell Malacia, Mason Mount, Rasmus Højlund, Anton Martial, Lisandro Martinez. Who else is injured? Close to 5-6 players, 7 of 9 are really injured, and you wouldn't like to be in this position when you're really getting such embarrassments. But at the club of Man United, you really feel a little bit sorry for Erik ten Hag, and I really feel sorry for him. Amid this, to me, it's not an excuse for losing to Fulham, but you really feel that there is something that is really affecting the club, and those are injuries, because no manager would like to find himself in a situation where Erik ten Hag is when he's really having all those injuries, and he expects lots of things to happen in his positivity. When his first team was around, we performed very well, but as those 3 players really went ahead to return and they've gone ahead to all get injured, we don't know how that head injury is going to affect Casemiro, but it is really one of the big blows as to why we really looked very, very soft, very, very bad, and our attack was really very, very bad. Talking of the goals that we're supposed to score and missing out on Rasmus Højlund, it's a comment I've gone ahead to see down here that we missed out on our number 9, but who really put it up? I saw someone here. We lacked number 9 in that match. That is Dan Champion. I don't really buy that. I don't really buy that argument. Do you know why I don't buy it? Because did you see any chance that was created for the number 9? No. But one thing I really agree with you is that Rasmus Højlund has gone ahead to obviously lead the line very well. Rasmus Højlund has gone ahead to really capitalize on those chances, that are being given to him by his opponents. And you never know what would have gone ahead to do today if at all he found himself in that position of really playing there. I really know we missed him, but to me it's not a point of us losing to Fulham, because last season we beat Fulham home and away. That is it. At Old Trafford we beat them, and at their stadium went ahead to beat them. So, Moya Precious, indeed this is a disaster class for Man United. It has been a disastrous display. Very disastrous, because a team that wants to play in the Champions League cannot really act like that. And these players also know it well that when they don't play in the Champions League, they get a 25% reduction of the amount of money they're supposed to be getting. And did you see any player really putting in an effort? Apart from Ahmad Diallo, who came off the bench and really showed interest in everything that he did. Eriksson that was brought on, gifted like 2 times. You get? And would have gone ahead to cost us into a loss. Hello, David. Thank you for the job you're doing. Thank you very much. That is Moya Precious. Then the champion. We lacked number 9 in that match. All right. Precious, I think it will be very difficult for Man United to finish top 4 position. Banange. I think it all starts with the game of Man City. If you lose to Man City, then it will be like bye-bye to top 4. 11 points. There is no way you close them down in the remaining 11 games. That means you'll be having to win all your remaining 11 games, yet you haven't played teams like Brighton, Newcastle, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea away. There are some hard teams that we haven't gone ahead to play, and if at all we are losing to small teams like those, then what is going to happen when playing such teams? Dan Champion, no way to put pressure without a senior left back. Yeah, we really lacked players, I really understand, but that squad is supposed to be beating Fulham, hands down. Then Marielli, most of the players are useless. They need to be sold, and Ten Hag too. His decisions are always questionable. Obviously today, Ten Hag really made a very big mistake. Just get on Amrabat. Amrabat, keep yourself in the game, and that chance was going to come, because all what we needed was keep it on a draw and really find a goal. And that goal was going to come at any time. Though, today, we've gone ahead to really not score for the very first time ever since this season started in the Premier League, ever since this calendar year started. in the Premier League, we've always gone ahead to score 2 goals into the first half. I hinted about it, and I told you that it was all engineered by Rasmus Højlund, and Rasmus Højlund has been out. So we've seen it that when Rasmus Højlund has been out, shit has gone ahead to happen. Then Oyeka Moses scored today was very selfish. Yeah, I think that cutback would have gone ahead to make sense. That square ball was really senseless, but it's 3 players of Man United in the 6 yards box area, and he couldn't obviously find them with a cutback. You get? And I really doubt whether he was going in for the far post cross. I think he was going in for what we call a shot at goal, but it never really went on well. Happy Chris, the defense was Højlund and Shaw. It was Garnacho and Onana in the field of play. Even Garnacho, he was really trying out on very many things. Something I believe he lacked composure. You know, getting composed is really better, and they'll find you in the best position. For me, I think Onana has been one of the biggest performers on the day. One will say Harry Maguire. We'll wait and see what the team ratings are gonna be like. Happy Chris, team selection and substitution was poor. For the team selection, it's okay. You can start like that, but if you understand that things are not going on well, Casemiro is injured, why bring on Eriksen? You know these players are really physical and they really run a lot, and this guy is not that caliber of player to really thrive in that kind of atmosphere. Then Biz, why McTominay instead of Amrabat? Big question, but Ten Hag knows better. Hassan Ho TV, we are playing really rubbish football. This club needs to significant changes and no need of going to Europe with this kind of squad. They'll push for Europe, and I think they won't give up, but I know a lot is yet to happen. But you're right, we really played rubbish. It has been a rubbish display for the club of Man United, and very venomous to we the fans of Man United. Then Dan Champion, McTominay was better than Eriksen. All right, if he's better, then get on Scott McTominay. I know Ten Hag had gone ahead to spend close to 3-4 games without playing Eriksen, but even when he came on through, he never showed us enough of what he could offer as a player who has not been being played a lot. Then he also added and really said that when you look at McTominay, I've always gone ahead to let you know that he can only help you when you're scoring, but is he his primary role as a midfielder? The answer is no. You need better and better players. Then Poskit, our strength in depth is very thin. Yeah, it's really very thin. Klien, Prita, hey bro, every game Bruno looks tired and out of play, slow and poor in making decisions. I think age is beating up on him. No, I've always told you that one day I pray to it that Bruno Fernandes really gets off that team and Eriksen is being played as a number 10, because Eriksen is a better creator and he can obviously create moments of magic better than Bruno Fernandes. So I think Bruno selfish today, and he couldn't obviously kill off chances going in for unnecessary shots, though he was responsible for the first shot that resulted into a goal scored by Harry Maguire. Then Dan Champion, better players was Ahmad, Onana and Garnacho. All right, I really feel good that people are really giving this guy his flowers. He made like 4-5 clear-cut chances that would have gone ahead to cross the line in there for you. And I'm having Klein, the cutback McTominay was supposed to make, but he went for a selfish goal. Yeah, it was really very bad for Scott McTominay for really going in for that. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. Rock and David remains my name. I think I've gone ahead to cover almost everything that happened in that game.